Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. It's the most important news and editorial of the day that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination of civil services will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 17th of October. The first important news that is understanding the global hunger index. This is from the text and context page of the Hindu. Second, Hampi Khajuraho on the list of G20 Cultural Track. Third, Global Energy Monitor on India's coal mine. Fourth, Securing India's cyberspace. I'll be discussing two editorial for the day. The first is from the Indian Express, and another is from the Hindu. That is Food Day as a reminder to leave no one behind. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based question. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And before I begin this session, those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful for your examination purpose, do not forget to press a like button. Starting the session with the first news of the day, that is understanding the Global Hunger Index, something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is important international institution agencies, their structure and mandate, also important for General Studies Paper 2, where government policies and intervention are concerned. Although I have also discussed this Global Hunger Index when it was released, but in this particular news, we'll be looking into other important aspect that is important for the examination. So for the second time in the row, the Ministry of Women and Child Development has recently rejected the Global Hunger Index. This is also known as GHI. And GHI released, the report of the GHI was released recently. India की जो ranking है इसमें 107 है out of 121 country. The performance of India is very poor, right? So in light of that, the government of India has said that we are not considering this report, and the government of India via the Ministry of Women and Child Development has rejected the report and the finding. Now India was accorded a total score of 29.1 out of 100, and in this ranking 0 represent no hunger and 100 represent complete hunger. So इंडिया की अगर बात करें एशियन कंट्रीज में और कंट्रीज की जिनकी परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी रही है, श्रीलंका 66, म्यांमार 71, नेपाल 81 एंड बांग्लादेश 84. सो इवन ओनली अफगानिस्तान इज अ कंट्री जिसकी रैंकिंग इंडिया से पुअर है. बाकी सारी कंट्रीज जितने भी अंडर डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज हैं उनकी परफॉर्मेंस कंपेरेटिवली इंडिया से अच्छी है ग्लोबल हंगर इंडेक्स में. Now about the GHI, that is the Global Hunger Index. This is a peer-review annual report that endeavors comprehensively measures of hunger, that tracks the hunger at the global level, at the regional level, and at the country level. Now, authors of the report primarily refers the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 2. This is very important. They can ask you in examination कि कौन से गोल हैं SDG के जो कि हंगर में आते हैं. So SDG Goal 2 deal with hunger. So this aims to achieve zero hunger by 2030. Now, according to them, the report attempts to raise awareness and understand the struggle against the hunger. GHI की अगर indicators की बात करें, 4 important indicators हैं जिन पे ये measure की जाती हैं. First is undernourishment, that is a measure of proportion for the population facing chronic deficiency in dietary energy intake. So the proportion of the population in a country and their intake, the dietary, right? So that is taken into consideration and that is defined as an undernourishment. Child stunning is a low height for the age. Child wasting is a low weight for height. And child mortality, death of a child under the age of 5. So this age 5 is also an important point for many competitive examination. They can directly ask you this question. Now, relevance of 4 metrics की अगर बात करें, the first will start with undernourishment. It's a peer to author provides a basic to measures inadequate excess of food, that is among the lead indicators of the international hunger target, including UNDSD Goal 2. Child stunning or mortality की अगर बात करें, let's offer a perspective about the child vulnerability, nutritional deficiency, and access to food and quality nutrition. Right? So it is very important that nutrition to the child during their pre-development stage should be provided. Now, since Children at the age of 5, this is basically with regards to other part of the developmental stage of a child, the greater need and the urgent requirement is to have a nutritional requirement primarily which is visible in nature. Now, this form the basic accessing the nutritional requirement among the children, and lastly, some rationale of child mortality indicates a serious consequences of hunger. Now, Government of India stand की बात करें. What does the Government of India stand with this report? So, as per the Ministry of Women and Child Development, the report lowers India's rank based on the proportion, that is, proportion of undernourished POE population. It elaborates that US Food Agriculture और के जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसे FAO के नाम से भी जाना जाता है, estimate that it's based on food insecurity experience scale, which is known as FIES, right? And this survey module conduct using a Gallup world pool that bears the size of the population. 3,000 responded for being asked 8 questions. तो एक सर्वे बेस्ड ओपिनियन क्रिएट की जाती है और इस मेथडोलॉजी को गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करती. It counted the assertion in the report that India per capita dietary energy supply on year-on-year basis has enhanced, and the productivity of major agriculture commodities over the year has also increased. Now, GHI website explained that while FOI uses a suite of indicators for the food security, the GHI only uses PO obtained through food balance sheet based on data reported to the member countries, including India. Now, what is the controversy and why the controversy is there for the GHI index? So, according to the ministry, the report is not only disconnected from the ground reality but also chooses to ignore food security efforts and central government, especially during the pandemic. Now, Government of India ने इस पेंडेमिक के दौरान प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना स्टार्ट की, which has a provisions of additional 5 kg rations per person each month in addition to their normal quota of food grain. So apart from the quota that was already there, an additional of 5 kg of rice and grain was added. Now moving to the other news, Hampi Khajuraho on list of G20 Cultural Track, something important for General Studies paper 1, that is Indian culture, the salient feature of art form, literature, architecture from ancient to modern times. Now as a part of India G20 presidency, December 22 till November 23, India will be taking the presidency of G20, and it's a landmark moment for India to set a precedent. So Government of India is planning to host 5 important meetings in the 5 cities, which include, this will be basically focusing on the cultural track at Khajuraho, Bhubaneswar, Hampi and Agra. तो spots final किए गए हैं जहाँ पे कुछ meetings होनी. Now these cities has been chosen mainly of the well-known monument and the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, the heritage site that were included, that's Taj Mahal and Agra Fort in Uttar Pradesh, Hindu and Jain temple in Khajuraho, Madhya Pradesh, Konark temple in Odisha, and Hampi in Karnataka. So these are the states and the monument and even the venue where some meeting will take place. Now, plan for the meeting. The government has recently announced that there will be 215 meeting and spread. Around 55 cities will be taken into consideration for the meetings. The summit will be held in September in Delhi, that is International Exhibition Convention Center. This is there in Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Now, for the cultural track, G20 Secretariat has been set up in the Ministry of Culture, which will hire the professional agencies for research, documentation, coordination work for the G20 work stream and culture. Now, opportunity for India during the G20 presidency. कौन सी ऐसी work है, priority areas हैं जिसमें इंडिया को काम करने की जरूरत है. The G20 presidency will definitely provide an opportunity for India to shape the global agenda on many multilateral aspects, which include the cultural aspect and streaming and engagement process. So the first important and priority area would be protecting and restitution of cultural property, advancement of traditional cultural practices of the sustainable living, promotion of culture and creative industries for livelihood generations, preservation and dissemination of culture by leveraging technologies, right? The other important part that has to be taken into consideration that India presidency will be used as an opportunity to push country as a preferred tourist destination with delegates taken into the familiarization tour. Now, earlier, Siliguri, Run of Kutch, Kashmir, Goa has been finalized as the destination for the G20 meeting by the Ministry of Tourism. Now, which country that are participating during the G20 presidency? For the first year, India will invite countries like Bangladesh, Egypt, Mauritius, Netherlands, Nigeria, Oman, Singapore, Spain, and UAE as the guest countries. Now, talking about G20 members, जो members countries हैं, India, apart from India, 19 other countries which are the part of the G20 will be also attending the meet. Global Energy Monitor on India's coal mine. This is important for General Studies paper 3, that is Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth and development. So according to the latest analysis report, which was published by the Global Energy Monitor, on average, India's coal mine use only two-thirds of the capacity, with some large one using 1%. Global Energy Monitor, a firm that tracks utilizations of the fuel resource internationally, and GM की अगर बात करें ग्लोबल एनर्जी मॉनिटर परफॉर्म इट्स एनालिसिस बाय सर्वेइंग एनुअल रिपोर्ट ऑफ द कोल इंडिया स्पेसिफिकली कोल इंडिया जो PSU है एंड इट्स द लार्जेस्ट कोल प्रोड्यूसर विच बेसिकली इम्पोर्ट इन वर्ल्ड और हमारी एक्सपोर्ट भी होती है सो दिस इज पर्टिकुलरली गिविंग एनालिसिस हाउ द परसेंटेज एंड प्रपोर्शन दैट इज गोइंग फॉर इंडिया. Now, more about the analysis report. At least twice a year, India is experiencing the several coal crises. बात करें more than 100 out of 285 thermal power plant that is witnessing the coal stock fall below the critical mark of 25%. So this is a concern. And over 50 plant it fell below 10%. Right. So this is the point and highlight that was made by the analysis report. This has led to the shortage of the coal in various states, which include Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, and Madhya Pradesh. It suggests that out of 99 of the Indian coal mine projected to yield 427 million ton per annum, under the development of the necessary and opening of the coal mine would not contribute to easing short-term supply crunches. Now, there's already climate commitment that India has made. The Prime Minister has made the commitment during the COP26 meeting in Glasgow. The first priority that was set that India will reach the non-fossil energy capacity to 500 gigawatt by 2030. This is a Panchamrit initiative and very, very important for your examination purpose. If you're writing in mains, make sure you highlight all this point if relevant and necessary point is required. Now, India will meet 50% of its energy requirement from the renewable energy by 2030. India will reduce projected carbon emission by 1 billion ton, that is from onwards by 2030. By 2030, India will reduce the carbon intensity and of its economy then 45%. And the most important, that India will have a net zero emission by 2070. Now, moving to the first editorial of the day, that is Securing India's Cyberspace, important for General Studies paper 2, that is government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from its design and implementations. So what I'm going to discuss under this editorial, the theme of this editorial is India's cyberspace. The first subtopic, which will make you able to understand the editorial, will be need for the technological upgradation, some challenges, government की क्या intervention रही है, and the way forward or the way ahead. Now, recently, there were reports that Indian Army is developing a cryptic technique to make network resistance, that is to attack system by quantum capabilities. और इंडियन आर्मी की बात करें, they have collaborated with industries and academia to build secure communications of the cryptography applications, right? So this is to ensure to save our defense communications, right? So this will build on the last year initiative to establish a quantum computing laboratory at Military Engineering Institute, Maho in Madhya Pradesh. Now there's a need for technological upgradation that is essentially required. So with traditional inscription model at risk, the increasing military applications and the quantum technology deployed will be using the quantum resistance system that will become the need of the hour. Definitely quantum resistance part of the system is essentially required for Indian defense system. This required the upgradations of the current encryption standard that can be broken by the quantum cryptography, and current protocol like RSA will be quickly becoming updated. This will be basically outdated because RSA that is being used will be outdated in a year or so. Now, this means that the quantum cyber attack can potentially breach any hardened task, opening a significant vulnerabilities for existing infrastructure, and hack proofing of the system will require considerable investment, which is again the government need to take care of. Some challenges that India will have to practically deal with the challenges, the cyber risk arising of the quantum computing and attenuated by the lead taken to some nations in the sector. Particularly, अगर बात करें इंडिया की, particularly basically we are also looking on the part of China, which hosts world two fastest quantum computer. For example, United Nations Quantum Initiative has already allocated 1.2 billion for research in defense related quantum technology. Now इंडिया की जो डिपेंडेंस है वो फॉरेन पे रही है इस चीज को लेकर के, particularly China's hardware is additionally a vulnerability for country like India. Now, some government initiative, India is getting ready, but steadily we are working on it. It will take time. In February 2022, the team of DRDO and IT Delhi successfully demonstrated quantum key distributions, that is called QKD, the link between two cities, प्रयागराज और विंध्याचल की जो cities हैं, that is 100 किलोमीटर apart, वहाँ पे कुछ experiment की गई to check whether how it is functioning. In 2019, Center declared quantum technology as a mission of national importance, and in the union budget, thus proposed a spending of 8,000 crore rupees for the newly national mission on quantum technology and application. So this is again an important point to be noted. Now, this has to be completed by a strong focus on securing cyberspace from the quantum attacks. Now, way ahead, currently India has very few capabilities in developing advanced system capable of withstanding the quantum cyberspace. India must consider procurement of by United States national security agencies, where B crypto quantum resistance suit and an official inscription should be the part of it. We should also create such level of advancement so that we do not need to rely upon any other countries. Now, NSA is developing the new algorithm in their cyber suit that can have resistance to the quantum cyberspace, and diplomatic partnership with other techno democracies, that is, countries with top technological sector advancement economies, and commitment to liberal can play pooled resources and mitigate emerging quantum of the cyber threats. Now, the other editorial, that is Food Day as a reminder to leave no one behind, something important for general studies paper 3 actually, and this is a relevant other topic, inclusive growth and issues arising from it. So this particular editorial has a theme, that is the food security and hunger, and these are some of the subheads that I'll be discussing. This is the hunger outlook, hunger hotspot outlook, better productions, better nutrition, role of FAO, government की क्या measures हैं, need for better environment, millet conservation promotion के बारे में देखेंगे, and the way forward. Globally, food and nutrition security continue to undermine the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, climate change, spreading food, inflation, conflict और inequality ऐसी चीजें हैं that is continuing. Right? Total of 828 million people worldwide do not have enough to eat, and over 50 million people are facing severe hunger. By 2030, India's population is expected to rise by 1.5 billion, and agri-food system will provide the need, basically sustainability support की बात करें, this will be growing with the increasing population. Now, hunger hotspot outlook की अगर बात करें, this is a report which was published by the Food Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and the World Food Programme anticipated the escalation hunger to 2.5 million people across 45 countries, which will nearly have the emergencies to survive. So this is a reality. This is the anticipation for any kind of worst pandemic in terms of hunger can take place. Now, World Food Day, that is October 16, has been reminded as to ensure that the vulnerable people in our communities must have access to nutritional food, and we have to end the hunger possibly, जहाँ पे कोशिश ये की जानी चाहिए that collectively and transformation work हो, strengthen agri system, better productions, better nutritions, better environment and better life. Now, better production and better nutrition की अगर बात करें, India has an inspiring journey through better productions and achieving the self-sufficiency. But despite the fact, India is one of the largest agriculture producer export. Now, during to 2021, it has recorded 49.6 billion in agriculture export, which is 20% increase. However, recent climate shocks have raised the concern about India's wheat and rice production over the year. तो जिस तरह से क्लाइमेट में डिस्पैरिटी देखी गई है, प्रोडक्टिविटी को लेकर के भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा गवर्नमेंट कंसर्न है, एंड इवन दे हैव बेसिकली जो एक्सपोर्ट होती है उसको भी बैन कर दी गई है राइस पे, so that we can have a sufficient quantity of stock in India as well. Therefore, the important of the places of the great focus on the climate adaptation and resilient building is there. Now, what is the role of FAO? Since 1948, FAO has committed to play a catalytic role in India's progress in the areas such as crop, livestock, fisheries, food security, the management of natural resources through promotion of sustainable practices. Now, government measures की अगर बात करें, one of the India's greatest contributions to equality in the food is the National Food Security Act. This is a reformist basically policy that government of India has come up with. उसके अलावा targeted public distribution system है, PM Poshan scheme and integrated child development services. These are some of the important initiatives. Now, today's India food safety net collectively will reach 1 billion people. The food program that works with the state at the national government level will strengthen the system to reach out the people who need them most. The government continues to take measures to improve this program with digitalized measures such as rice fortifications, better health, and sanitations. Now, there's a need for better environment. So, for this better environment, the nutritional and agriculture productions need to be taken into consideration, where the less impact is there from the climate change, but also link the environment sustainability. Soil degradation पे हमें ध्यान देने की जरूरत है. We should not be using excessive chemicals, non-judicious water use, declining nutritional value of the food product need an urgent attention. The millet is again a big game changer here. This food has good nutrition, health, and also it is friendly to soil. Now, United Nations General Assembly has declared 2023 as an International Year of Millets, a static point that you can take a note of. India is working leading producer of the millets, producing around 41% of the total production. So India is the largest producer of millet. India, that is the center, is implementing submissions of the Nutri-Cereals as a part of the national food security missions, and state level mission in Odisha, Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh is a testament of India to resolve their indigenous crop. Millet conservation program and promotion को लेकर government of India ने, they are looking forward that all the promotion with this particular scheme should be there. So millet conservation and promotions contributions to address the security, improve nutritional, sustainable agriculture, and align with the sustainable development goal agenda should be there. Millet productions has been proven to enhance biodiversity, yield a small farm, including the rural farm. A study by the FOI from Millet of India has emphasized strengthening the value chain for enhancing nutritional benefit and increasing the farm income. The way forward, it is evident that the path for the better life resides in transforming the food system. We need to revamp the entire functioning, the structure, the strategy, and even that call for transforming the overall food system. The food system will focus on the equality, including the incentivizing protection for common, enhancing the food and nutritional security, social protection that is needed. Now, India can lead the global discourse of the food and nutritional security and showcase the homegrown solution and best practices, championing the India's principle of having no one left behind continuously to make food system more equitable, empowering, and inclusive. So this is how India can definitely achieve this target. We need to work on equitability, empowering, and inclusiveness of the development, and even for the contribution, financial assistance from the government side is essentially required to ensure that the farmer that are working for this sustainable development should be actually incentivized. So this is how the way forward can be completed. Moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of Saturday questions. For first question, the correct option is B. For second question, the correct option is D. Today's MCQ for practice. आपको बताना है, consider the following statement with regards to 10 in 1. The mission conducted by China for the orbital Mars. This was first successful journey to other planets. So do check it out for the correct option. Second is with regards to the National Coal Index. The index is being launched by the Niti Aayog. This will help the commercial auction of the coal mine revenue on the share basis. So which among the following is the correct option? You have to check that. And do check it out. This type of question might be relevant for the upcoming prelims examination. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.